everyone, this is Maria at Freestyle Homeschooling, and today I'm going to continue with part 2 of our history or social studies books and resources. So if you didn't watch the first video, I did half of our social studies or history books that we have in our bookshelves. I just really quickly showed you the books that we have. So if you didn't catch that one, I will leave a link on the description box, and then you can check that one out if you want to see that one as well. But this is part 2 of our social studies and history resources. Okay, so first of all, let me start off with these. I'm not sure if I showed them on the previous video, but just really quickly, we like these books, and I believe they're from, I think you can find them at Beautiful Feet Books, but I'll just show you real quick. This is Benjamin Franklin, Abraham Lincoln. Yes, it is Beautiful Feet Books. George Washington and Leif the Lucky. And there are, I believe, a couple more of these. We really enjoyed these. I think we read about 2 or 3 of them. So I'm going to get the rest of them, and we'll probably use this with my 5th grader for U.S. history next school year. We really like these. Okay, here's a few resources. So this is United States coloring book. It's Dover coloring books. If you're doing medieval history, these are pretty awesome. It's making your castle, like a model castle, and you just cut out the pieces and put it together. So, and here's another one, and I think this one's a little bigger. So it's a cut and assemble. And I'll just show you real quick what it looks like. And then I'm sure you've probably heard of history pockets. I have the Native Americans history pockets and the American Civil War. And I will probably get the rest of them for U.S. history for next school year. These, my daughter read maybe last year, about 3rd, 4th grade. And these are pretty easy for young readers. They're level 4, most of them. Yeah, they're all level 4. And I'll just show you real quick. This is about the Titanic and Pompeii. And then Thomas Jefferson, Benjamin Franklin, and this one's the first flight about the Wright brothers. Okay, let's continue. This is from the Magic Tree House. This is, if you're doing medieval history, this is also a good one. It's a fact checker from about knights and castles. Okay, then the story of King Arthur. This is Dover books. The Middle Ages, you choose, these are the choose your own adventure type of books, interactive history. And they have all kinds of books. These are really fun. My son liked these when he was younger. And they have a lot on the back. They have some on the Civil War, the Middle Ages, Revolutionary War, World War II. So check those out. They're called an interactive history adventure. Okay, here we have St. Patrick, and this is from Christian Liberty Press. And then we have a few from the Who Was series. We really like these books. I like them because they are really interesting, and also they're easy, you know, to understand. So it's kind of like a short review on whoever it is you're reading about. So this is Who Was Christopher Columbus, Who Was Joan of Arc, Who Was Ulysses S. Grant, Robert Lee, Thomas Jefferson, and what was the March on Washington. Like I said, we really enjoy these. We get a lot of them from the library, so we'll probably use a few more of those. This is Don't Know Much About American History. Okay, and this is, I think, just like really quick pieces from U.S. history. Okay, so it's just kind of to get a really quick overview on certain topics. This is also from Beautiful Feet Books, I believe, if I'm not wrong. This is George Washington's World. Okay, and these books, they have a few different ones. So it's basically during the time period of George Washington, but it's not just about him. It's not just about US history. It's what happened in the rest of the world during the time that George Washington was alive. So it talks about different scientists, doctors, inventors, kings and queens. So this one's a nice one too. That's a good one. So this is African American women, scientists and inventors. Okay, and this is DK. I really like DK books. This is about the presidents. And it has about a page. Yes. So basically like 2 pages on the president. So it's all of the presidents. Okay. And then this is another no, this is not DK. This is Usborne. The World Wars, and this is about World War I and World War II. And I love Usborne books. If you've never found any, they're very colorful. If you've never seen any, they're very colorful and informative. And they have Usborne books in all types of topics: history, science, stories. Okay, so that's World Wars. Usborne. And then here's another, this one is DK, Geography of the World. And this is a huge National Geographic United States Atlas for young explorers. Okay, and maybe I'll just show you a quick page here. So next year, next school year, my daughter, she's going to be in 5th grade, so she will be studying the 50 states. So that will be a good resource for us to use for next school year. Okay, let's continue. These are a few more picture books. This is Usborne as well. Who were the first North Americans? And these, we use a charter school, as many of you may know. So some of these, I just purchased them with our funds, and they're going to be used next school year. Okay, the very first Americans. North American Indians. I think this one was on the previous video. Okay, and then I got these from Betsy Maestro. This is the Discovery of the Americas. The Exploration and Conquest, also by Betsy Maestro. And another one, The New Americans, Colonial Times. Okay, so those we'll be using for next school year. Okay, this is an old Usborne. I got it for 75 cents, so why not at the library? This is about the Roman times. Okay, and like I said, they're very colorful. So these are the older versions. And then we have Illustrated Book of Knights. Okay, and let me just show you, just so you get an idea of what this. Okay, so some of these were when we were doing medieval times. And then these 2 books, I have a teenage boy, my son. He really likes history and things on like World War I, World War II. So I found these, I think at a thrift store. This is Equipped for Battle. So if you have maybe a boy that doesn't really like to read, he might be interested in something like this. This is about weapons, gear, and uniforms of America's wars. Okay, so it's all the wars of American Revolution, Civil War, World War I, World War II. Oh, I shouldn't take too long because I just realized I still have a huge stack over here. Okay, Scholastic, this is Warriors, the Greatest Fighters in History. So now the rest of these, some of these are more like curriculum for history. So I'm sure if you've been homeschooling for at least more than a year, I'm sure that you've heard of Story of the World. So I have volume 1, 2, and 3. And actually this one is from our lending library from our charter school. So I have 4 volumes here. And my son did volume 1 and 2 last year or 2 years ago. Okay, so I have this one. I think I got it for like $8. And I wasn't sure what I was going to use for U.S. history yet for my son. So I went ahead and purchased it. This is BJU, Bob Jones University. It's the actual student textbook. And like I said, it was at a curriculum sale and it was like $8. So I said, I'll just buy it. If I don't find a curriculum that I actually like, I figured I can use this as like a base. So it's very colorful. Okay, this is BJU Press, American Republic. But we didn't use it, so I have it there. I might sell it at a used curriculum sale. Okay, next, I also got these at thriftbooks.com. So they're used, but they are in really good condition. They're almost like brand new condition. And I think both of these books, I might have paid almost $20 for both of these. And if you've seen them, they sell for like $40 each, brand new. So this would have been $80. But this is America the Beautiful by Knotgrass. So it's volume 1 and 2. This is for middle school. So I might hold on to this. Maybe my daughter might use it in the future. I'm not sure. And it comes with We the People as well. And I also found this one used. So I have that. I'm not sure. I might sell it. And I might sell this one, the Knotgrass one, because what we really did enjoy is history from master books. So I have America Story 1. I don't have volume 2, but I do have volume 3 as well. And my son enjoyed reading these, and I think I might use it with my daughter as well. So America Story, I think I'd rather use this one over Knotgrass. And I'm sure a lot of you may like Knotgrass. Every family's different. It's a very thorough curriculum, but for our family, we really enjoyed the style of master books, which is written by Angela Odell, okay, America Story. Also, this is by Angela Odell, master books. This is The World Story. And this is volume 1. My son will be using possibly volume 2 and 3 next year for world history to count it for high school. So I'll have to purchase volume 2 and 3, but this is volume 1. Another day, if you'd like to see a little bit more inside on master books, the ones that I do have, I can do a little review or just show you a couple pages. Okay, lastly, so these are more like resources. I figured I'd go ahead and do it in this video. This is Our Constitution Rocks. And this is actually, I actually enjoyed reading through this because even as an adult, I wasn't very familiar with our Constitution. I didn't really pay attention in high school for government or even U.S. history. So it's really important that we all know our rights and we all at least have some type of understanding on the Constitution. So I do highly recommend this one, Our Constitution Rocks. It really breaks it down in a way that you can understand it. And it's basically kind of explained by this young lady. She's the one who is the author of the book. So it's in a way that kids can understand it. So I really do recommend this one. And then there's a board game that you can, if you're going to learn about the Constitution, you can use that book. And then you can use this board game. It is the Constitution Quest game. Okay, and I'll show you the back just so you have an idea. It's on the board game. Okay, so those two compare really nicely. Okay, then this is a really kind of a simple game. It's timeline. Okay, and this one's kind of fun. There are a few different versions, and I'll just show you real quick. I don't want to take too long. But there are these little cards, and then it'll give you some type of event. Like this one says invention of a glass bottle. So you get a few cards, and then you have to try to place them in the right order on like a time. You're going to create a timeline, and then on the back it actually tells you when that happened. So it's kind of a fun game just to kind of learn a little bit about history. Okay, so that one's fun. And then I just got these from, I believe, Target, the dollar section, Flags of the World and U.S. Presidents. Professor Noggins. These are actually kind of fun too. They're card games, and it's kind of just like a trivia. You know, they ask questions, you try to answer them. So this one was on medieval times, and I would probably get a few for next school year, probably U.S. history. So those are fun. Here I have an audiobook for the story of the world. Okay. A suggestion, if possible, some children can retain or some children can get into the lesson by hearing it. If they're audio learners, you can put it, they can follow along in the book, or they can color or something while they're listening to the audiobook. So these come in handy. Okay, I'm gonna try to wrap it up. So these are a few DVDs that I have. This is Liberty Kids, the complete series. And this is about U.S. history. So I'll probably be using this with my daughter next year, just as a little resource. Discovering America's Founders, Drive Through History. And then America, the Story of Us. This is by the History Channel. Okay, so this one, we enjoyed watching it. We did see all the, I don't want to say episodes, but we did see all 3 discs. And it's like a movie, and it's very detailed, and there's only little sections where somebody will talk about it, but it's like you're watching a movie. So this one's really interesting, and it's not boring. At least we enjoyed it. And then also this one on the presidents. This is also by the History Channel. This is 3-volume series. And we enjoyed this one as well. We'd watch a little bit every day. We finished through, and it goes through all the presidents, every single president. And some of these presidents, I'm like, you know, they're not the famous ones that everybody knows, but it was really interesting to find out some of the things that they did for this country, or the things that they didn't do for this country. And then it even goes into detail on their personal life and stuff. So this one was pretty interesting. Okay, presidents. Okay, these are audio books. Really quickly, this is King Arthur and the Knights, told by Jim Weiss. The Story of Theodora, also by Jim Weiss. And these are from the same company, I believe, that is The Story of the World. So it's read by Jim Weiss. And he also reads The Story of the World audiobooks. And this is the story of Ethelred, I believe. Okay. America's Godly Heritage. And then I have 2 of the just story of the famous composers, Bach and Beethoven. Okay, so I'll just show you these. Those are by Zizok Publishing. Okay, and last but not least, I finally got through all of this. I have Project Passports, I believe it's from Homeschool in the Woods. So this is a history, time travelers. This is Explorers, the New World Explorers. And then this is Project Passport, and this is on the Middle Ages. These, okay, there's 2 things that I will say on these, okay? They're awesome, number 1. If you have a child that's hands-on, likes to cut, color, paint, they have so many projects. The only downside that I didn't like too much on these is the printing part. It would have been nice if it would have been one like PDF, and then you can print at least 2 or 3, but each lesson has like, you have to click and go into it, print it, then you have to go to another lesson, click on it. So each like file that you have to print, it's very time consuming. That's all I can say for it, but it is amazing. I mean, if you have the time to sit there and print every little, or maybe if you did a lesson at a time, like every week, maybe, but to me that was it was very time consuming. But other than that, I would have really liked to have like the binder just printed out, just all of it like at once, but it does take time. But I will say that it's really great quality, and if you go to their website, Homeschool in the Woods, you can see some samples, and I think it would be a lot of fun for a child who is very hands-on. So that's these 2. So that is it. I don't think I missed anything. So that's it for today. This is all of our social studies and history books and resources that we have in our home library. So my next video will be on our science books and resources. I hope I can fit that all into one video. So if you haven't already, please like and subscribe.